The greatest underdog story, of course, is the story of Jesus Christ, the Gospels, the good news. Jesus Christ left his heavenly throne to come down and dwell amongst the most common people. The most common people, right? The thieves, the prostitutes, the sinners, the tax collectors. He didn't come and hang out with the religious folks. He came and hung out with people like you and I. And then Jesus was falsely accused, hung on a cross, died. I picture this, the physical and emotional pain that he must have felt. Because if you think about this, for 3 years he had these disciples that he trained, that he equipped, that he walked with, that he lived with. And then in the very last moment when he needed them the most, they all scattered. They all left him, except for one, the Bible says. They all vanished. And then to be falsely accused and get beaten to what would be about an inch of his life, the pain that must have been on his physical body, the physical torment that must have had. Then to carry the cross to the place where he was going to be hung to it, all that pain. Yet there was a pain that he was going to face that was going to be greater than that. In the third hour, it says that Jesus says, my God, why have you forsaken me? The moment when the weight of the sins of the world were laid upon Jesus Christ and he had separation from God the Father. You see, Jesus Christ has always been with God the Father. The Bible says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Jesus Christ, even though he left his heavenly throne, still had a relationship with God. But at that moment, at that brief moment, he had separation from God. The pain that must have caused him. And he died. And they put him in a tomb. And all of his disciples went and hid behind locked doors. They thought the story was over. But 3 days later, Mary and a couple of the other women went to look for the living amongst the dead. Meanwhile, Jesus Christ was nowhere to be found. He had victory. He had risen from the dead. Now that is an ultimate comeback story because that's the story of our salvation.